welcome to the deep dive. Ever wondered how a salon, say, in the UAE, could offer a really cutting-edge experience, but, without a massive budget?
It's a great question.
Well, today we're digging into exactly that, a budget-friendly way to get into smart mirror technology.
Oh.
We've got a source breaking down hardware, software, even some branding costs.
Right. The mission here is really to see how a salon could realistically use this cool tech without, breaking the bank.
Exactly. And think about it from the client side. Imagine you could instantly see how that new hair color or cut looks on you before you commit.
That's the potential, yeah. It's game-changing, and we're looking at how to make that actually accessible.
Okay, so let's kick things off with the physical stuff, the affordable hardware. Our source suggests pretty standard components, actually.
Yeah, nothing too exotic needed initially.
Like a 24, maybe 32-inch touch tablet or monitor. Brands like Asus or Samsung are mentioned. Cost-wise, looking at maybe AED, $3,000 to $5,000 for that. Then you just need a simple frame, like a mirror frame. To house it, maybe another 500 to 1,000 dirhams. And a basic mount, wall, or tabletop, a couple hundred more.
So the interesting thing is it really leans on off-the-shelf tech, doesn't it?
Totally. No need for expensive custom builds right out of the gate.
Which avoids those huge upfront costs. And honestly, a lot of potential complexity. It really lowers that barrier to entry.
And one more small thing for the hardware to make sure the virtual try-on really works well.
Facial recognition needs good lighting, yeah.
Right. So they suggest adding a simple ring light. Surprisingly cheap, like AED 300 to 600.
So all in for the core hardware, we're talking maybe AED 3,000 to 5,000-ish, give or take.
Yeah, around that mark. Pretty manageable. But, okay, hardware is one thing. What about the software? The brains behind the virtual makeovers.
Now that's where you get some interesting flexibility, especially budget-wise. The source talks about options like UCam Makeup Business.
Okay, I've heard of UCam.
Yeah, it's pretty comprehensive. Does hair, color, makeup simulations, even looks at face shape. They offer an SDK that's a developer kit for deeper integration or a pro version.
And the cost for something like that?
Annually, you're looking at maybe AED 2,000 to 4,000.
So 2 to 4K a year. How does that, compare to other typical salon expenses?
Well, think about it. For tech that directly boosts the client experience, gives you a real edge. It could easily be less than what some spend on marketing or even some standard booking software. It's an investment in the experience.
Makes sense. The source also threw out Modiface web plugin. Said it might be cheaper.
Yeah, that's another route. It's more web-based, could be anywhere from free up to maybe AED 1,000, depends on the features you need. Good if a salon already has a strong online game.
But here's the really interesting bit for starting super lean.
The MVP approach.
Exactly. The source says you could literally just start by using the free mobile versions of apps like UCam or maybe Style My Hair.
And just connect your phone or tablet to that bigger monitor you've already got mounted?
Right. Talk about a minimal viable product. Almost zero software cost to just test the waters.
It's brilliant, really. It lets you see if clients actually engage with it, get feedback before you commit to a paid subscription. Minimal risk.
Okay, so hardware is manageable. Software has options from free trials up to paid plans. What about making it feel like part of the salon? Branding.
Yeah, that's important too, even on a budget. Adding the salon's logo, maybe a digital welcome message on the screen, some brand colors or images.
It's about making it look professional, integrated, not just a tablet stuck in a mirror.
Exactly. Creates that cohesive experience, adds perceived value.
And they mentioned a neat functional touch, too, adding a QR code.
Oh, yeah. So clients can scan it to save the looks they tried.
Yeah, save their virtual styles, or maybe even link directly to book an appointment. Kind of bridges the digital try-on with the actual service.
That's smart. Streamlines things.
And the cost for that basic design work, pretty minimal. Estimated around AED 500 to 1,000.
Tiny investment for potentially big returns in engagement.
Okay, let's tally it up then. For this whole budget-friendly smart mirror idea, the total estimate lands somewhere between, AED 6,500 and 10,000.
Around there, yeah. Which honestly feels surprisingly accessible for this kind of technology.
What are the big wins for a salon going this route?
Well, obviously, the low initial cost is huge. It lets them test the market super quickly. Plus, it's not a dead end. You can always upgrade later to fancier hardware or software. And crucially, it turns what can be a standard visit into something much more interactive, more engaging, builds loyalty.
Makes the client feel a bit VIP, maybe.
Absolutely. And the source even mentioned practical help being available, things like graphic design templates, shopping lists specific to the UAE or Amazon Dubai.
Even introductions to people who can help set it up. They're really trying to make it easy.
Yeah, that kind of support is often what makes the difference between just thinking about innovation and actually doing it, removes those initial hurdles.
So the big takeaway for you listening is getting into smart mirror tech in a UAE salon doesn't have to be some far-off, super expensive dream.
Not at all. There's a genuinely affordable starting point using tools that are, well, pretty much already out there.
It's about leveraging available hardware and adaptable software cleverly.
Definitely. And, it makes you think. As these kinds of interactive, personalized experiences get easier to implement, not just in salons, but other industries too,
Yeah.
how might that change the whole relationship between, say, service providers and clients? What other kinds of real-time personalized simulations could become just normal beyond trying on hairstyles?
That's interesting. Definitely some food for thought there.